for when the lockdown is over, then you can be looking to take full advantage of this. Again, depends on when you're listening to this, depends on what's happening in the future, depends whether you're watching this live or on the replay with me, depends on where you are in the world of taking bookings right now and etc. But if you are in lockdown right now, and if you can't take guests right now, this is the perfect time to start doing the research. You can literally start doing the research right now. And I will leave you in this episode with hints and tips on how to start your research. So you've got Becky is on the property. Here's where, again, so many people fall down. This is where so many people stop, is that they just leave them to it. I would be actively encouraging and asking for the influencer to be taking certain pictures or give them certain hints and tips and encouragement of places to maybe post a story of, or just give them, if you've got a property, for example, that's got a stunning view, just say, hey, just to let you know, the sunset here is fantastic, or the sunrise here is fantastic. It'll make a great little Instagram story. Give them hints and tips and advice because they need to know what to talk about. Okay, leave them to their own devices. Like, don't micromanage them. Leave them to their own devices a certain amount of the way, but also as well encourage and help and talk to them about things to take pictures of, etc. And again, if you want to go and have a one-on-one chat with them to get some ideas, etc., that's everything that I did when we had influencers come and stay with us. Number one, it was really useful for them to find out more about us, but also as well, it's really helpful for me to help to understand more about their background, about how they grew their social media to be so big and how they did all the things, because at the end of the day I was picking their brains because I was able to apply some of the tactics into the granary as well. So it's really useful. And what I would be also looking to do, and we're talking more post day now, but after they've left and they've gone back, I would 100% keep in touch. If they've agreed to do a blog post, for example, so they'll have to go away, they'll have to edit the pictures, they'll have to put together, put the copy together and post it. I'd be keeping in touch, asking them if they need anything, etc. And this is the final thing. So once the Becky has left, the influencer has left, they've put the post up, they've done the stories, they've done their Instagram posts, and if they're handy with the videos as well, they've done a YouTube video. After they've stayed and they've been, I would definitely keep in touch. And this is one thing that I would always say, is that influencers know other influencers. And I always end on a little text message. So I'd say, hey, Becky, thank you so much for your visit. It was great to get to know you and your family a little bit better. If you know anybody else who would fit our audience that would be able to have some form of similar agreement, please set up a group chat. Send me their details. I'd be love to chat. Because again, if you can find out more people to work with that are more in your demographic, your ideal customer avatar, they have 10, 20, 30, 40,000 followers plus. And again, when it comes to it, at the end of the day, in all the other forms of marketing that there are, from Facebook ads to social media to email marketing and whatnot, this is one of the most easiest, most cost-effective ways to get in front of a really engaged audience. It's so different to, say, maybe a magazine advertisement. So it's probably the most closest to it. I think the other closest to it would be a journalism coming to stay at your property. But if you think about it, with a magazine ad, you maybe pay £500 to be put in front of a real niche group of audience that it will be put in front of. With this, it's similar, but every single one of the people reading it, every single one of the people engaging in it is super engaged. It's like a mini community. So when the person at the top recommends something, recommends a stay that they've never heard of, then they are more entitled, they are more likely to get in contact with you than any other time in the past. And the final bit of tip that I would give to everybody is that when you work with Becky or the influencer, come up with a special offer. So you'll have a trackable code. You'll have a trackable link in your booking engine that they could put in, that when that trackable link gets typed in, that code, the coupon code, the voucher code or whatever, their audience will get like a 5% discount, 10% discount. But it's able for you to track the return on the influencer, the ROI that I like to call it, or the return on the influencer, because it's really useful for you then to be able to look at your stats and go, okay, so we work with in 2021 or 2022, we worked with 10 influencers and it brought in X amount of revenue in bookings. But also as well, we're able to grow our followers. And it'll be amazing. You'll be amazed at how many people, when you start doing this, will say and come and book with you and go, oh, I've discovered you because of X, because of Becky. So that is influencer marketing. That is how to not only have a discussion with an influencer, but how to work with one and the benefits and the powers of it. And again, if you want to go find out more, go back to season 8. Go and find the episode on influencer marketing. Just type in season 8, Boostly, influencer marketing into Google, and the podcast episode will come up. It is very, 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 very powerful. And again, for the most part, it doesn't cost a penny. All it costs is a stay. So you may be thinking, okay, so how can I right now go and find some people to potentially work with? So first things first, I would always start my search on Instagram. It's the best place that I would potentially find somebody to work with. All you need to do, open up the Instagram app. In the Instagram app, and let me just quickly open up mine now so I can point you on the best place to go. And I'll even show you it as well. So all you need to do is in the bottom, you'll see that there is the home symbol. You've got the magnifying glass. So type in the magnifying glass, and all that you would start to do in the search bar, you've got the little arrows, you've got the person, and you've got the hashtag. I would start using the hashtag to work in and around some of your niches, your areas, your locations. You know, if you are looking for family friendly, so maybe do family blogs, family vlogs, family Instagram, etc. So if I was to type in hashtag right now, so hashtag family time or family goals, for example, you will see that there are 8.4 million posts. And I would just simply start going through each one, and I would just maybe try and see, okay, so who's trying local to me, maybe who is in the same country to me, and you just keep going through that. And I would maybe make a list of 10 to 20 different hashtags, and this is the sort of hashtags that maybe you want to appear for, or, you know, again, influencers in and around your niche, influencers in and around maybe your area. You know, you can maybe sort of look between 1 to 3 hours away from where you live, and again, because you'll be able to attract not only that area, but also the staycation market, which is still really, really big and really popular right now. This topic is really not talked about enough, and it's one that I'm a massive believer in. And there's a lot of people that I know, Sarah Peaks, for example, of Peaks Retreats, who has done this so well. And that's just one example. It's a fantastic way. And at the end of the day, you're making good relationships and good contacts with people that are very good at social media. And at the end of the day, that is not a bad thing. I can see this podcast episode more than any other having tons of questions. So if you do have a question on this, whether you're watching live or on the replay, please leave it below in the comments. I will try and get back to them, as many as I possibly can do. All I ask in return is to do me a massive thing. Take a picture of the screen right now. Take a screenshot if you're watching this on your phone or on your tablet. Go and post it on Instagram stories and tag in @Boostly. Go and post it on Instagram itself or Facebook. Tag in @Boostly UK. Put in hashtag Boostly, hashtag Book Direct, so loads of people can see it, and just share it into Facebook groups, please. That is massive. Please go and share it into Facebook groups, hospitality related groups, so they can discover more and learn that there's actually somebody out there who's helping them with their bookings this year. So this is the finale of season 10. I just want to thank Hostfully, who are our podcast sponsors. They've been with us now for the last few seasons. Hostfully.com. You can get a free digital guidebook by literally going to hostfully.com. Digital guidebooks are so important. I've talked about it so many times, and it's going to continue to be important moving into 2021 and beyond. So please do go and check out them. They are fantastic, and they sponsor this show, and it means a lot. Next week, I'm going to be back with season 11, and it's something that I have never done before. It's something that I'm really excited for, and it's going to be called Boostly Roundtable. So every week, I'm going to invite into my world some experts from this industry and from beyond, and we're going to have a roundtable discussion about a chosen topic. So next week, season 11, episode 1, we're going to talk about social media. So please make sure that you do check it out.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.